Kitty cat with the dogs out. Dunk. All right, I'm cording. Let's go. I'm cording like Gordon. Yeah, you need to get your.
Slip on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wheel. That. Is that gonna be the intro music to you and Ricky's podcast?
Dude. You guys right in the back? I don't know.
No.
I mean, you can. If you guys want your own podcast in the back, then by all means.
We don't record.
The podcast is your own. It's for you guys.
Ricky already
I get to play with fire today. I get to play with fire today.
Oh, you get to play with fire today.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay, wait,
If
win.
I win, you sit in the cab. If you win.
I feel like if you win, I should sit in the back because you're the white guy.
Okay. Best 2 out of 3.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Damn.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Damn.
Get the fucking back.
Jesus Crispy.
El Jefe said.
Oh yeah, I turned that on because I wanted your reaction to go, oh, there's a light. Oh, I was going to tell you last week and then proceeded to not tell you. So the last time that I listened to your podcast, granted it wasn't from the end of your podcast, it was because it started auto-playing a different podcast. But at the end of your podcast, there was a Whataburger ad, and I was like viscerally confused for a second. I was like, wait, did he get a Whataburger ad? Wait a second, hold on, what? There you go.
I'm 3 episodes in. That's enough. Got some samples now.
Tommy Hurdy ASMR.
No dead air today.
Just groaning. Oh my god. Why are you coughing too?
I've been coughing like all week.
Oh no.
It's got the coof. Coof 2 resurgence. Revengeance.
Let's go. All these red cars.
No.
No.
I refuse.
I do not observe the color red. I hate communists.
Nice. All right. Welcome back, Familian Bazingers. Today's episode, we're going to be talking.
Why are you so fucking low energy, bro? You gotta get pumped. You gotta get your pump going. You gotta pump it up. You know, pump up the jam.
Are you not excited to talk to La Familia and Bazingers?
Yeah, you're disrespecting La Familia with your tummy hurty fucking nonsense.
If I just lower my octave, I just sound like Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
At least that octave. So.
Hey, Peter.
Stop.
Hey, Duper.
No, we're not starting.
Please.
Hey, Familia and Bazingers.
Fuck.
On today's episode, what we're going to be talking about.
We're pirates.
We're pirates, Peter. Oh my god. There was mention of Duparis
Yeah, Duperis was mentioned.
in
by
Scaliana.
I was heavily
Some
pandered
fucked
to.
up dragon dude.
We both were.
Yeah. Your character was knocked out though, so.
Knocked
Yeah, I
out.
was fucking furious.
Fucking insane in the membrane.
I mean, how would okay? We'll get there. But
Naughty
how,
no girl
I
get
will-
knotted up with her knot.
no, not yet.
Also, I don't think Loudcats has that.
I don't know enough about shark biology.
They don't.
Whale shark biology.
don't.
They just got 2 of them.
They don't.
Do cats?
No.
Is it
They have
just
barbs.
dogs?
Cats have barbs. That's how they stay.
How does that? Is it like or do the barbs point like toward the user?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I haven't looked at a cat dick recently. If I'm being
I gotta
honest.
ask Austin. I don't know.
Why does Austin know that?
Because he always knows. He's the one who
He's a
shares all this
knower.
forbidden information.
He's a knower. I told you what knots were.
And about hyenas.
Yeah, and about hyenas and their prehensile clitori.
Please give him the credit that credit is due. He tells you a lot about animal genitalia.
He does, but he doesn't know, so now I have to.
I don't know about
other one.
cats.
Yeah, and he's Mr. Lion King.
Mr. It's Art Mob.
So,
And you're not. You chose to
Oh, I
not
forgot
be
we
here,
were
Austin.
recording.
You chose to not defend yourself.
No, he lost.
He lost.
By trial by combat, he lost, and now he doesn't get to be here.
Oh.
We'll do it again on the way back.
The rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can choose to hop in.
Yeah, and he can defend himself and tell us what cat dicks look like.
We just have to
You
remember
think
that.
Dawson's tuned out by now?
Bye, Dawson.
Bye. Not a real bazinger.
we were
Not a
pirates.
real one.
He's-
We're
he's-
pirates.
He's familiar, but not a bazinga.
Yeah, which is honestly unacceptable in my opinion. But
If
whatever.
you're not both, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Dawson,
It's not or.
I appreciate you standing outside in the cold yesterday. It must have been very
That was so
cold.
funny. Like, we were walking back, and he's like, I wanted to leave like 20 minutes ago. I just didn't want to be rude. I'm like, you can just go. Like, you were not in the conversation. You didn't have to stay.
I
mean,
kept trying to include him in the conversation.
I know. I'm not saying like you were in the conversation like a bad thing. I'm like, I mean, you don't have to be in the conversation. You can dip if you're freezing your ass off.
But we appreciated your
yeah,
presence,
we appreciated your
Dawson.
company.
Yeah.
I appreciated that you froze your ass off. It's fucked
Yeah.
up that you're not a bazinger, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm still mad.
It's torn opinion on you, Dawson.
Yeah, I'm thinking both ways right now.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's not what I meant. Hold the fucking telephone.
He's not listening right now anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, he's Austin's, according to my dream, or Austin's is his. I don't know.
Whoa. We're not going to delve too far into that.
I actively try not to think about it. Every once in a while it pops up and I have to close my eyes really hard to fucking get the thought to go away.
Just scream the thought out.
Yeah.
Get out of my head!
That's one of my favorite Bill Burr bits of how, like, when you're in the shower and you're not distracted by anything, by doing a task or watching something or listening to something, how just those intrusive bad memory thoughts will come into your head. You have to just like close your eyes and scream to get them out, just to occupy the space with something. And then when he leaves the shower, his girlfriend's just like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Oh, the water was too hot." She's like, "Every day."
Me too.
All right. So what happened last
Let's
week?
not unpack this.
What happened yesterday?
What happened? What happened?
What
I
happened?
can't whip
We,
as fast as I normally
Bro, you
do.
can't name
We
it.
had we found a temple.
We did find a temple, and
We
I am
approached the
so
temple.
fucking happy that temple. Okay, I have some things to discuss later.
Okay.
We gotta talk about this.
We got to unpack all of that.
But yes, we started at the third island because that is where we saved our game last time. That's where we save and quit. And I'm gonna hit this thing
So we
just
paused
to
it.
make them kind of hit something.
What?
Damn, that I forgot I'm in a truck and it does not go.
It don't go.
It
Don't go.
It stay actually.
It do stay. Hey Lexus, how you doing?
What are we?
Stripper name?
Well, yeah, isn't that the stereotype of you stripper names are typically things that they can't afford?
Is that a stereotype?
I think that is
I
the
don't know enough about
stereotype.
strippers to say.
Yeah,
You're-
how many
you're the
strippers do you
expert
know?
That good old Midwest lore.
Good old Midwest lore. Have you been to a strip
Everybody
club before,
has a
Tristan?
stripper
I
friend
have
in the
not been
Midwest.
to a strip club before. I think it was a My Name's Earl thing. Better it was a comedian thing. Or that's how you get strippers named like Diamond and Mercedes, and I guess other people are also just named that.
We don't discriminate if you are a exotic
Bazinger?
dancer and a bazinger and familia.
Yeah, but you have to be a bazinger and a familia, otherwise
Yeah.
we will judge you.
No. Tristan will judge.
We'll judge you for not being both, but we're not going to judge you for
we're not
being
gonna
an
judge you
exotic
for your
dancer.
choice of profession or
Yeah,
your fake
the
name.
oldest-
Yeah,
profession,
yeah. We'll just
actually.
judge you for.
Not quite.
Why are you shaking my ass over there?
You're not another
All
man
right,
shake
we'll
your
be
ass.
back. All right.
This chewing on caramel is going to make for great podcast material.
It always does.
I chewed mine already.
Oh my god.
Oh, man's got those freaking caramel crushers. Cutting through caramel carelessly, curating, careful.
I was like not super invested
Cut.
in these, and then they were $12, so now I have to eat all of them.
You know
It
look at
would-
the price?
No, it wasn't on the fucking stand because it was on like a pallet.
I
But
see.
this will fucking take me months to fucking get through because I also don't eat sweets very often.
I see. I had something like that, and
Mhm.
it took me, I think think it was a week. Too short of a time period.
You like binge sweets though.
I do. It's a problem.
I have like coffee creamer that has sugar in it, and that's like enough sweets for me.
You see, that's the thing is like I don't know. I'm becoming more and more lactose intolerant the more I don't consume lactose, because that's how lactose intolerance works.
Yes.
I think that's why my tummy's being baby right now, on top of the fact I just kind of wasn't feeling well yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we were on an island.
You're on an island. It was the last stop on the map that was glowing, and we
Yes.
knew we were going to get another thing here.
Yes.
So.
The last thing. 3 of 3, if you will. And I'll probably just go wrong. I almost said the street name, but I want to dox us.
You've doxed us so many times before.
Not since we've moved.
Yes, you have.
I said street names?
You've said street names multiple times.
It wasn't the one like that we lived on, but it was definitely in the area.
You've said Bell Road. You said Waddell multiple times.
I see.
Like recently too.
I see. So we get to the island. This one is like a volcanic island. We get to the door.
We make little snow angels in the ash.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like there's a little bit of like an ash, not like an ash storm, but there's enough like floating around that we need to roll some survival checks to stick on the trail. And Ashura kept getting like blinded by the ash, and then Larson kept trying to help Ashura, and then Laukai's kept trying to like stop
Get
Larson.
defensive.
I kind of like the concept of Larson was just innocently trying to help.
No, he wasn't.
No. Let me finish.
Okay.
Larson was originally just trying to like innocently help Ashura with something, and then like because Laukai's got like defensive over it, he was like, wait a second, and just like he just got kind of caught up in like the male like competition. So now he's like, oh, okay, all right,
I can have her.
I can have her.
I can steal your girl if I want to.
You're not doing anything with her, so. But
He was waiting for her to propose. No dead air. So we get on. We eventually like get up to the door, and the door said something along the lines of like, only those who can wield the hammer can enter. So then we had to walk back to the boat, and then get the hammer.
Oh god, what was it? It was something along the lines of like, a ring. Like, the ring of the hammer shall open the gates or something like that. And we were like, oh, we need the hammer. All right. So they had to go back through the ash and then back up.
Yes. And then we hit the door with it, and then the door opened, and then we entered, and then we got to do a whole bunch of puzzles.
I really like the visual of Duncan and Morgan looking at the door and then, like, trying to figure out where to tap the door with the hammer. And in the background, there's Ashura just like blind, and Larson and Laukaz are both just like slapping at each other, but like facing away from each other.
He was going for her waist at some point. Larson was like, "Let me lead you by the hips,
you were trying to
girl."
like, grab her hips and lead her that way.
Well, he was originally trying to grab her hand, and then Laukaz was like, "Hey, bro, stop doing that." And then he tried to grab her hands again, and then later on in the dungeon, it was something along the lines of like Larson had like kind of lost his patience with Laukaz, and then he was just like, what's your deal? Like, if you need to be assertive, you just need to like be assertive. Like, you need me to show you, bro? And then that's when he like went to go like grab Ashura by the hips, and Laukaz was like slapping his hands away like, whoa, bro. And Ashura was like, boys, don't fight over me. I mean, but
she wants you to
fight. Fight more.
Show me blood.
Fight on top of me.
Fight. Wrestle party on top of me.
Oh my god. So the first riddle was a door that had a bunch of symbols on it, and we had to hit the symbols in order of the
forging process. Because there was steel, oil, fire, anvil, hammer, sword.
Yeah, and we hit it in the right process because of Tristan's knowledge.
Of when
Forge.
you need to quench. And I did not mean to overwrite Dawson, but then I kept being right when I kept overwriting him. So I was like, all right, sorry, buddy, but I'm just going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going because I have watched Forged in Fire more than you. And the next one, because all of these had like riddles on the floor and it all kind of had something to do with the hammer to some degree, or like the prove that you're worthy. And so the next one was, there's like 2 paths that you can choose wisely, and there were 2 other hammers on an anvil, and then Dawson just hit the anvil with the hammer that we had that we knew was magic, and that was the correct answer.
That was the correct answer.
If we chose either of the other hammers, it would have set off like either a horrific trap or had 2 like giant enemies.
Yeah, a trap.
Well, Austin told me about this one, and the idea behind it is that like you walk in and you see the 2 hammers, and it's like, oh well, we got to figure out which one of these it is.
Yeah.
And he was not anticipating us to just like know that it was the one we were already carrying. But
that I 100% give to Dawson, because I was like, okay, which hammer do we choose? And he's like, I do this. And
that
I'm
was
like,
one of the ones he had told me about before, and I remembered, so I wasn't gonna say anything. But...
Fair enough.
And then after that was the lava room.
Yes, with the...
Or was it the crucible? It was the crucible.
That was the crucible, yeah.
The next one was a room where there was a bunch of like half-finished weapons, and there was a crucible. And it was basically just like an endurance test because, I mean, Laukaz didn't have to do it all himself, but he did.
But he was a Chad.
What you had to do was dip one of the unfinished weapons into the crucible. You took like so much fire damage.
And when you would pull the weapon out, it would be complete.
Yeah, as would all the other ones in the room.
And
so that we had to repeat that like 5 times.
Captain Morgan,
you wanted to see
before
if
we
he could
finished the puzzle,
improve.
decided, oh, what if this improves my knuckies? So he had Ashura pop the runes off in case it ruined his weapon, dunked his knuckles in there, and it spawned a fire elemental. And we're like,
oh, is that the room?
No, it didn't have the fire elemental.
What
It
did
just
it
did
spawn?
The room
massive.
was the rods.
yeah, that's
the
right.
fire
What did it
elemental.
spawn?
It didn't spawn anything. It just did massive fire damage. It was like a fireball essentially. It exploded in his face
Oh.
with Laukaz right next to him.
Oh, okay. I thought that spawned a monster.
No, it didn't. But we finished that one up also, and then moved on to the next room, which was more complicated.
Yeah, that one was. The room was. It's a long sandwich style. And there's a hot side on the left, cold side on the right.
There was
various
a
hot
molten
rocks and cold
fire.
rocks.
It's like you put the
Lava.
sandwich in the oven, but you didn't turn it. You know,
You took the
perpendicular.
frozen sandwich. Yeah.
And so like half the sandwich is really cold and half the sandwich is fucking really hot.
Yes, it was a molten waterfall and a frozen waterfall.
Yeah.
Lava fall, sorry. There was no water there. And there were 6 rods spread throughout that we had to try to like place into correct areas. And if you put something
Correct.
wrong in the slot where the poles went, it spawned elemental. And we only had to fight one, which was the fire elemental, before we kind of got our shit together. But that
still,
was
that
not
fire
fun.
elemental did slap us around, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, it hit me once and I almost died.
yeah, rough.
Oh no, not that fight. It took out a third of my health.
It took
I
out-
know it took out a.
Yeah,
it
it
did
fucking-
what, like 65 damage
Yeah,
to you, right?
she has 83 max.
Yeah, it
so-
was. Whew.
Jesus.
And then I'm not exactly sure how you guys solved this one. I know Austin said he like kind of changed it on the fly.
So I want to say, I knew that the rods were going to be hot by virtue of them being metal and in
Proximity.
Yeah, and so I was trying to use my 10-foot pole to sweep the rod into the hole, and I think I did not use my words correctly because I was having a really bad time speaking yesterday. Look at that little slow flapper.
What was that?
I don't know. There's
There's
like a slow flapping thing up across the road.
Like a bird?
Like it kind of looked like a bat.
It was a
might-
big
might
fuck
have-
off bat.
It could have been a bat, or it was an owl.
Might have been
Oh,
an owl.
maybe.
I didn't see it.
It had a big wingspan.
It's probably an owl.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that I probably just chose my words wrong because I was trying to sweep the rod into the hole, and then because I was using a rod, I think everyone thought I was putting my rod into the hole.
Bro.
And well, you know, the hole's warm. And
So is the rod.
so is the rod. Oh God, what side of the road is it? It's on this side.
That side.
So yeah, that's what triggered the monster spawning. But then we went over, grabbed ice bits, dropped them on the hot rods to cool them off, and then we inserted them in, or collected them all around the circle, and did vice versa with the cold rods. And then all at the same time, grabbed more ice and more hot stuff to chill the rods, and then insert them while they were at a like neutral temperature. And then that was the solution that DM said was good.
And that
it
opened
was
it up.
because it said something along the lines of like the
You must
riddle
deal
for this
with
room
both,
was like
heat and cold.
yeah, it was like something with tempering it, and I was like, oh okay, so we have to like do
That one didn't
do
say anything
something
about
with it.
tempering.
Okay,
That was just enduring both.
okay.
And
Oh
then,
yeah, that's right.
yeah. And then the room after that was we had to prove that we like
Yeah, because in
could
that
follow
third
in the
room,
footsteps.
like entering the third room, Larson and Morgan were like dabbing each other up because they like fucking one shot of the rooms before that, and then we got to that room and we were just like, okay, I don't know what the fuck to do here.
Yeah.
um,
So we got to the next room, and it was a bunch of like statues and Forge Master in front of it. Was like a little scene that was set on one side of the room.
Yes.
And then there were all the objects needed in order to get it set on the other side of the room, and everybody just had to like move stuff around. So we had like giant snake statues that we had to face the right direction. We had an anvil that Loudcast single-handedly pushed and then lifted up when Ashore started looking at him to carry over. Duncan
Larson and Duncan were
moved
desperately
water.
trying to rotate a statue, and Morgan was just like single-handedly like just pushing the statue back in the other direction. We're like, Captain, please.
please. And then the last room, I think that we just walked in and then it had the soul, right? That was it? There wasn't anything else that we fought?
Yeah, the last room was like a hallway with like a small antechamber. There was the anvil that had a sphere on it that was glowing. Sometime during the dungeon, I can't remember when, the hammer that we had lost its glow, and when Dawson like whacked the anvil, the sphere shattered, and the green glow replaced the blue glow that the hammer originally had. And yeah, and then we left.
And our ship was fixed.
And our ship was fixed because our buddy fixed it while we were gone.
Yeah, and then we sailed
I'm
off
not gonna
again.
make that. I mean, I can make that. Oh, someone's waiting on me now. I can hear Austin going, ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna get out of their way real quick. Go.
What if they were trying to be in the spot?
Motherfucker. Alright, fine.
There's too much going on at once in this parking lot. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can hear him going, holy crap. Or I can see him going, saying, holy crap. Alright, we'll be back. Clap, please. My camera had the cryptic camera for a second. I was like, oh no.
Are we going to Dutch?
If you want. Do you want to go to Dutch?
I am indifferent towards Dutch because I do know we have coffee at home.
You? Opinion? Your opinion?
And we can go home.
Okay. Alrighty.
So, we got to the final thing. We were back out. We left. We then sailed away, and we're gonna try to find. We had to look at the map at night. Were we sailing in an actual direction? Like, did we know where to go?
So.
Oh, the hammer had like a glow, right?
Yes, the hammer had two different waypoints, effectively, a green one and a yellow one. And we were following the yellow one because it was just going to kind of be closer. We go over to the yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
The fog starts to roll in one night.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't really like see what we're doing. So someone has the great idea to like douse all of our lanterns. And then we get ran into by a ship of the line.
I don't think that would have happened regardless of whether our lanterns were on or not.
Yeah.
I suppose that's true. It's not like he was trying to avoid us and then just haphazardly ran into us.
No, that was on purpose. That was an on-purpose ramming by a ship of the line against us.
Against Oos.
And then skeletons started dropping from the boat.
Yes. And I tried to roll a knowledge to identify this skeleton because I needed to do that in order to double my sneak attack damage with my feet. And rolled a natural 1, so I thought that these were like just traitors. And
Starving.
yeah, it was like,
You thought they were still alive.
oh no, they had the hunger curse that I had. Oh no, I sympathize with these guys immediately. Captain, what should we do? And Captain's like, you're gonna fucking kill them. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And Ashura was cooking something down below deck.
That's right, when we got rammed.
The ramming of the ship was enough that she fucking slammed her head against the fucking stove and fell on her ass.
Yup. That was the one of many times that
girl.
night. That was the start of a trend.
Yes. Of hitting her head.
Yeah. So much head damage.
I'd go there sometime.
I feel like it's going to be disappointing.
It probably will be, but I still want to go.
Yeah.
Brother.
Me too.
I don't think that they knew that I had a stop sign.
I mean, they had the right of way. You weren't at the intersection yet.
True. Right, so skeletons start dropping down. We start fighting. Duncan's like, all right, I'm going to at least try and slow them down. So he actually climbed the opposing ship and then immediately got grabbed and was out of the fight. Which turns out was the power play, because first round, we knocked them all down. Second round...
I knew we were, like, supposed to not win that fight.
Yeah.
Given the very obvious, like...
Ship of the line.
It's a ship of the line crashing into us with a horde of skeletons coming off.
It's
like,
Altharius' ship,
also
of course.
Altharius, so it's
Yeah.
like very clearly like we're not supposed to win. I did want to like actually play the game though, so I continued to fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just do what my character would do, which is
Yes.
defend the ship. And so, yeah, so first wave, good. Second wave, good.
I do like the mental image of Duncan swinging onto the ship and just like landing and just like immediately his arms get grabbed and he's like, "Hello, boys."
Yeah, and then third wave was when they had like spellcasters, and that's when shit started like really hitting us back hard. And then Ashura and Larson both went down and were dying.
That's when Gary showed up.
And then Gary showed up and was just like, "Oh, hey, are you the captain? Let me shake your
I
hand."
fucking hate Gary.
And then Morgan was like, "Yeah, sure. I guess. What? Why are you guys were attacking us?" He's like, "Oh, if you want to stop fighting, then we'll stop fighting." He's like, "You started the fight." He's like, "Come aboard." He's like, "Can you
You are
heal
our prisoner
my
now.
people who are dead?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." And he gave us some like health potions. So I think Ashore was at 2 health and Larson was at 5 or something like that.
And then everybody got shackled.
Yeah, everyone got shackled.
And
put
not
on
in a cool way.
board. Ashura had special shackles because she's magic girl.
She tried to chew through them, and then I think bonked her head so much she passed out.
Yes.
Yes. Gary removed all of our items, put us in a prison cell.
No, we were brought onto the deck first,
And then he took all our stuff.
Altharius came up and was like talking to us before we went to our cells, because that's when she knocked herself out. Was when he was talking to us.
That's right.
Or right before he started talking to us.
Uh-huh.
But Altharius came up to the ship and was like, "Hey, you know, I'm looking, you know, I'm here for the artifact that you have.
He forgot that. Gary told us that.
Also, just coincidentally, I mean, not coincidentally, I'm also looking for a female Corvus. Have you seen her? I haven't seen her in fucking 25 years. Please. No? Okay. Moving on. And then he mentioned Scaliana. Scaliana.
Well, he said, were you sent by Neath?
Yeah. And then you asked for clarification, and he was like, Scaliana Neath, and you're like,
My aunt.
yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, so you were sent."
Like, no, actually, I haven't talked to her in a really long time.
I was
But
fucking screaming because I was dead and didn't get to engage in this obvious pandering to our old characters.
you did eventually.
I
This
did
wasn't
eventually.
the initial.
I'm trying to remember. He said something that I wanted to like, he didn't repeat later. That I was upset that he didn't repeat, but I don't remember what it was. So obviously.
Well, he mentioned that Tuberus was his like first mate or bestie or whatever at first, and then
I mean, he mentioned that again later.
yeah.
But I don't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. And then he was talking about like Tuberus being his first mate and all that. And then at some point, Ashura wakes up and he repeats himself for my sake, so I can tell him like, "Oh, that's the Archduke." And I was.
He's never mentioned
I went
you.
to school. He's never mentioned you before. I went to school with his kids, and I've had dinner with him. Like me and my sister and my siblings have had dinner at his house, at his vast estate, and and he's never mentioned you once.
No, he's my best friend.
What do you mean? He's right here.
He didn't even have Alistair.
Alistair?
Yeah, Alistair,
I know who Alistair is, but what context?
Alistair was trying to be his best friend.
I see.
So he needs a skull on a mantle at least. So
yeah.
sad.
And then we got thrown in the brig.
Yeah.
And Ashara was really angry that she was alone, specifically without Loudcats. And so she asked for
company, because she's sleep in a pile.
Yeah, because Noel's sleep in a pile, and it's cultural, degradation to not let her sleep in a pile. And so he let a skeleton in with her, and she proceeded to try to beat the shit out of the skeleton.
Then knocked herself out.
Didn't even break his AC, obviously, and until she rolled a 1 and knocked herself out again.
Tried to do the Kirk like double fisted bang, and
it like
bounced
her
off
and hit her straight in the face. And then
Gary came down
slowly, one by one.
Everybody
Gary was summoning people to speak with Arthurius.
Summoned Morgan first as the captain.
Who he was going to be like, okay, what do you know? Like, I want you to work for me, blah, blah, blah. And then he mentioned money, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Easy.
Okay,
done.
Sure.
Done.
And then
you mean I get to live and I get money?
He brought in Duncan, and the exact same thing happened.
Oh, it's like, what did Captain say? Okay, cool, then I'm following Captain.
And then he brought in Larson.
And then he was like, all right, cool, yeah, I can, give you eternal life, and, you don't have to worry about dying, and you can get money. And then Larson was like,
oh, money?
This...
Don't act like you didn't, like...
No, because he said, because what Larson was going to say was, look, I was only here for money. This is way beyond my, experience. I'm going to retire. I've made enough money. But before I could say that, it was just, look, I'm only here for money. And then he just, popped off and was like, you mortals, all you care about is money. Here, do you want this? And then just, starts chucking stuff at him, which I thought was coins initially. And so then Larson was just, picking up all the coins that were getting thrown at him.
Like a peasant.
Like a peasant, yeah. Until he realized that they were just shiny rocks that he was collecting for the bird girl. And he's like, oh. And then he just dropped it all. But, so he's like, all right, so what, do you want to work for me? And he was just like, what would happen if I refuse? And he's like, I don't fucking care. And then he's like, I'm gonna go home to my daughter. This is too much. I am, because also, this was a ship that, 4 years into his first contract with the Navy, he was part of the fleet that took down this boat, this ship of the line, that has now come back from the dead. And Larson is like,
spooky.
I'm going to die. I just had a near-death experience. This is too much. My whole point here was to get money and return to my family because I want to see my daughter. And if I can't do that if I'm dead, bye. And so Altharius took his food away, but thankfully Larson was scarfing it down as much as possible during. And then when he got back to the cell, he just didn't mention anything to the rest of the crew because he didn't want to seem like a deserter a second time. So he just didn't say anything. He was just like, oh, did he make you the same offer? And he's like, yep. And just left it at that.
Do we want to come back to talk about Ashora and Laukaz?
What do you mean come back?
Pause so we can eat and then...
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Then we can eat while your food's hot and ready.
Which was named after the HMS Dreadnought.
All right, Familia and Bazingers, we're back.
Whoa!
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 So when we last left off...
I thought you were sitting down next to him and he was just getting up and he was sitting down. It's like, wow, okay.
I mean, that's kind of what was happening. I just adjusted.
Kaylee was just smooth on the save, and then you called them out.
Yeah.
On this audio platform. All right.
So Ashora and Laukaz were taken to the cabin of...
together because he spoke for her.
The draconic captain of this
Because Gary
vessel.
did not trust Ashora to behave, and...
Should we say who Gary is to bring the viewers back up to speed?
I feel like I know who Gary is.
I think Dawson knows who Gary is.
No.
Dawson was there with Gary.
Okay, then we won't explain it.
If you want to discuss, then go for it.
Gary is a character from a previous birthday one-off He was a
Can you
soldier.
stop like dropping shit on the table and making horrible noise?
I'm sorry.
He's not though.
He's not. He was defending me though.
I agreed with your point, which is why I took it away. But I do have to defend my wife.
I also think she was wrong, but you know. So Gary was a foot soldier that the team ran into when they were helping
No, he
Tuberous.
He
wasn't a foot soldier?
My man was an
He was a
engineer.
soldier.
Mm-hmm.
But he was-
aqueducts.
He made aqueducts.
He was
He was hiding.
Yeah.
hiding.
He was an engineer for the military,
He
but he
was-
was not a soldier.
He was not a soldier. He was an enlisted officer. Was he an officer?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
how it works.
Gary was collateral damage when we were trying to get to a bridge. We were gonna go blow up the bridge. We had to go
We
get the
were.
bombs
That
to
is
blow up
not
the
how he
bridge.
died.
That's not how he died. He died when we were crossing like no man's land.
No.
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 See, this is why we need to catch up, because you clearly have no fucking idea what you're talking
right,
about.
fine.
We
Tell me-
found him.
tell me- yeah,
we found him hiding in a
Yeah.
cellar, and he
Yeah.
was scared of dying. And then Xeraphos was like,
Oh,
"How
right.
would you like me to remove
This
your
is
fear
still
of
not
dying?"
what
I
happened.
just got dead named.
Arthurius.
That's not how he died.
He died with the Beef Wellington.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
He saw a god. Do you remember which one?
Uh,
I think it was the one you wanted to see.
yeah.
Oh, it was the
Nephis.
God of Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the pure ecstasy of being in front of a god instantly killed him.
Yeah, and then he was brought back by our resident.
And he was jazzed about it.
He was
Yeah.
pretty thrilled. Yeah.
And so he became Arthurius's right-hand guy.
Yeah.
And we met him
evolved.
again when we went up north to the North Pole to fight Santa.
With Killian.
With Killian. Yeah, we fought Killian and Santa Claus. And then we once more, as different characters this time, have met Gary again.
Yeah, he brought us onto the ship.
Gary's the real main character.
Honestly.
Gary's the real one.
He also lives in my house, or outside of my house, since I threw him out.
Tossed him out
He lives on a bush outside of my house.
in a cloak and a Phantom of the Opera mask.
The mask fell off.
It did. It broke. It's
Aw.
fine. But yeah, and then so Ashura and Lacaz.
Gary took Ashura with Laukaz to go talk to Arthurius because Gary was just assuming that she would get killed immediately otherwise for being a magic user.
And it
nobody to
wasn't
vouch
immediate.
for her. It was eventual.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they show up. She gets immediately mad that there's an undead person in front of her.
well, she's just kind of generally angry at
This situation
the
at hand.
situation,
Yeah.
and very clearly that this guy is the cause of the undead situation.
He's mad about that.
And
so
he's passionless.
So she was gonna go try to kill him. He tried to say that he had a heart. He was full of passion.
He's so full of passion.
He's
Well,
so
by
full of
nature,
passion.
because he's undead, he has no passion.
He's so full.
He has no soul. He has no
He has
you
a
know.
soul. It's in a box.
no.
My heart, it's missing. I would ooh if I could.
So Ashura was just kind of raging at him the whole time.
Yeah.
He was trying to be like, "Yo, work for me," and she's like, "No, I'm just
I'll kill you.
I'm gonna kill you.
kill you.
I'm gonna kill you." Throwing shit at him. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you. 20th level.
What
kill
is
you.
the meme and or movie that it's from? It's some like superhero movie when like someone's mad and they're like throwing shit at the dude and the dude's just like and like the table's like breaking around him and
It
stuff.
happened
Like,
in Megamind.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what I was imagining of like Ashura like throwing tables at him and he's just like sitting there and it's just like table breaking. And,
Well,
like,
he
shit on
threw
him.
it back lamely.
Yeah. Like, okay.
It didn't even hit her.
And what did Laukaz do?
Well,
promised her-
she was calling him passionless and that we have to kill him. And he's like, hey, this guy could absolutely kill us if he wanted to. So I say we hear him out. How about this? If you promise to chill out right now, we will make up for it with so much passion later, because that seems to be all you want. So we'll have so much passion to
and
make up
so-
for the undead man.
Stop hitting the fucking table.
I was about to say if you were just like I was.
And she was like, "Oh, a night of passion. Well, now you've promised.
And
you
now
own
she's
me."
calmed down.
Yeah.
And
she hasn't calmed down.
That was all she
Yeah.
wanted to focus on after that.
Yeah.
That was all she wanted. She didn't
But it
fuck
was
the
it
dragon
was her
man.
condition
Yes.
for working with this lizard man, this
Yes.
dragon man, this skeleton
Bone man.
boneman,
Yes.
the skeleton.
But yeah, Laukaz got to explain to him that he is actually related as Kaliani. It's his sister, her sister-in-law's son. So nephew.
And Ashore got to explain that she went to school with Tiberius' kids, and he never talked about him.
They're not, in fact, best friends. Tiberius' skeleton is not Tiberius.
Arthurius has already forgotten this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
He locked his brain up on accident.
And then we left.
We had to just leave.
Well, I know. Yeah, we were killed.
Well, that was it. She kept saying something along the
She
lines
kept
of, like,
threatening him.
Yeah.
Like, I could destroy you right
He
now.
is the only reason that I'm not killing
Yeah,
you. All right.
basically. Like, there's a
Yeah,
promise.
and then you zapped Loudcast, and she
She's
was
like,
like,
yeah, now the promise is broken. So
and then she tried to kill you, and so you zapped her.
yeah, because
And then they got back to their cell, and she was like, "Did you see? He had to kill me to stop me.
Yeah,
He's
babe.
so scared of
Yeah,
me.
babe, I
He's
know.
so scared that he had to kill me to stop me."
I bet the second I died, you like just went ham and were so cool. I absolutely believe that.
And then it ended, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
effectively.
And then I think, well, it was Ashore essentially told him, like, hey, you don't worry about anything else at planning that night.
Yeah.
We will do everything else. If you think about anything else, I'll kill you.
Yeah, no, that should occupy your mind entirely until it happens, and
Yeah.
it better be like tomorrow.
They gotta kill a whale.
That wasn't part of the condition.
Loudcast said that he promises a night of passion, not win.
Yeah, she's going to dictate the win.
You gotta roll those dice.
I already did.
This ship's gonna start levitating.
Can we stop rolling dice?
What if we just didn't anymore? What if
Says Mr. F plus.
17-year-old F plus, please.
Virgin.
My God. Well, I would hope.
Why? People lose their virginity way before the whole time.
That doesn't mean it's good.
Oh, so now you're dictating when women get to give
And
that
men.
up.
And
Isn't
men.
it?
This is a
You're
great.
just
others.
dictating other people's body choices.
Yeah.
I'm dictating when the law says you should.
That's not what the law says. Unless you're talking about an older person doing that.
Yeah.
Is it still... You can still be tried for statutory even if you are underage as well. Because the other party cannot consent.
You can't consent either?
I don't think that's
Yes,
true.
but the way that the judicial system works is the male is at fault.
Source?
My neighbor's 17-year-old got locked up.
Kind of a shitty source, because for all we know, it could have been actual. Yeah. Just saying.
Why does the podcast always devolve like this when you're on it? This stuff never comes up when you're in the back of the truck.
Moving on from that, Larson is gonna
It's gonna jump
take his gold and fucking leave, go home so he can hang out with his
Spoilers.
daughter. And then,
Hang out
well,
with his
typically we
daughter.
talk about if we're planning a character swap, this is, the time to do it. And then his daughter is going to come because she she went to the Navy because she wanted to work with her
The
dad.
physical location, the Navy.
The Navy.
It's like Old Navy.
She went to the Old Navy because she wanted to work with her dad and was like, hey, damn, my dad was gone. You know, I understand this is his like line of work. Maybe if I just get on a boat with him, then he and I can spend all the time together. That seems like a fantastic plan. So she goes to school and then is like about to, get shipped off. And then that's when she gets a notification. Like, how long has it been at this point? Like 4 or 5 months?
No.
Or is it closer to like 3 months?
Closer to 3.
So, at this time, 3 months ago, she's told like, hey, your dad deserted? Do you know anything about that? Where is he? And she's like, huh? What? That's the only reason he's not home. Where is he? So now she knows that money is still coming in and money's coming in at way higher rates than it ever has. So she's like, okay, what's going on? So she just wants to find him now. And yeah, it's just going to be like ships passing in the night. She's going to show up and be like, oh, well, okay. I am suffering skill point withdrawals because I will no longer be playing a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay.
You're a magic caster now.
I am a magic caster now. And I'm trying very hard to
Oh
not...
god, now Arthurius has to deal with 2 of them? Oh Jesus.
He's not around.
They're multiplying.
They're multiplying. But yes, I believe, or at least as far as I am aware, she's just going to replace Larson and always necessary, just being a master gunner and everything, because that is what she also trained to do because she was, again, wanting to work alongside her dad. So, Yeah,
Don't trust your dad's kids.
I think that's it. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.